Disputed Canal Project. This editorial examines Sindh's protests against the canal project threatening its water. The widespread protests across Sindh against the controversial canal project on the Indus has put the province on the boil. Widespread means all over. Protests hit everywhere. Controversial means hotly argued. Canals stir trouble. On the boil is an idiomatic expression meaning heated up. Sindh's fired up. This sentence means Sindh's boiling mad over the canal fight. The Save River Indus Drive is fast turning into a mass movement, bringing together diverse political forces. Drive means push. Save River Indus is a campaign. Turning into is a phrasal verb meaning becoming. A big deal now. Diverse means mixed. Lots of groups join in. The issue has put the PPP, which has ruled the province without interruption for the past 16 years, in a precarious position. Precarious means shaky. PPP's in a tight spot after 16 years running Sindh. Although the PPP has lately distanced itself from the federal government's decision to build 6 canals to irrigate desert land in Punjab, the matter has nevertheless placed the party at the center of the storm. Distanced itself is a phrasal verb meaning step back. PPP says no to canals. Center of the storm is a figure of speech meaning in the hot seat, still catching heat as a federal ally. This sentence means PPP dodges blame but can't escape the canal mess. For many, the canal project means turning a large part of the province into barren land. Turning into is a phrasal verb. Canals could wreck Sindh's green into dust. Barren means empty. Land goes dead. And the PPP, being a part of the ruling coalition at the center, cannot escape the blame for the looming disaster. Ruling coalition is a term meaning top team. PPP's in it. Looming means coming soon. Disaster's near. Blame means fault. They're stuck with it. This sentence means PPP's tied to the feds, so they own this threat. While the distribution of water from the Indus has long been a politically sensitive matter for Sindh, the latest controversy over the new canals has turned the situation in the province extremely volatile. Distribution means sharing. Indus water is always touchy. Politically sensitive means a hot potato. Big deal here. Volatile means explosive. Sindh's a powder keg now. It has given a huge impetus to Sindhi nationalism, which had been largely dormant for a long time, with the PPP dominating the provincial political landscape. Impetus means boost. Nationalism's waking up. Dormant means asleep. Quiet till now. Political landscape is a term meaning power scene. PPP ruled it. This sentence means canal fuss fires up Sindhi pride, long quiet under PPP. Thousands of people, mostly the youth and women, are joining the protests organized by disparate Sindhi nationalist groups across the province. Disparate means different. Various nationalist crews rally. Across means all over. Protests spread wide. Many mainstream political parties and members of civil society have also come out to oppose the canal project that they believe would undermine the unity of the Federation. Come out is a phrasal verb meaning step up. Big parties and folks join in. Undermine means weaken, fear it'll split Pakistan. This sentence means big players say canals threaten national unity. Growing public anger has also forced the provincial administration to challenge the federal government's divisive canal project. Growing means rising. Anger's hot. Divisive means splitting. Canals divide. Challenge means fight back. Sindh pushes feds. But there is still a lot of skepticism over the PPP's position. Skepticism means doubt. Folks don't buy PPP's stance. The party leadership remained quiet for a long time while work on the project had already started. Remained quiet means stayed mum. PPP didn't speak up early. Some allege that President Asif Zardari had assented to the project last year. Allege means claim. Rumor says Zardari greenlit it. Assented means agreed, gave a nod. It is also alleged by the opposition that the provincial government has granted thousands of acres of agricultural land to the Green Pakistan Initiative, launched by the federal government and backed by the establishment. Shah granted means handed over. Land given. Green Pakistan Initiative is a term meaning a Fed plan. GPI is the project. Establishment is a term meaning shadowy power. armies in it. This sentence means opposition says Sindh gave farmland to a Fed army scheme. The army chief and Punjab chief minister recently inaugurated a GPI project in the southern Punjab region of Cholistan that is to be irrigated by the new canals on the Indus. Inaugurated means kicked off. Army and Punjab boss started it. Irrigated means watered. Cholistan gets Indus flow. For many provincial leaders, the proposed canals echo the controversy over the long-dead Kalabagh Dam project that had united the entire province in protest. Echo is a figure of speech meaning sound like. Canals feel old school bad. Proposed means planned. Kalabagh Dam is a term. Old fight that rallied Sindh. This sentence means leaders see canals like the old dam uproar. A major concern is that the canals would further reduce the flow of water to Sindh. Reduce means cut. Less water hits Sindh. Thousands of acres of land are devoured by the sea each year with the depleting level of water flows in the Indus. Devoured is a figure of speech meaning eaten up. Sea takes land. Depleting means shrinking. Indus flows fading. Federal Planning Minister Asanik Bal's reassurance that no water will be diverted from Sindh's share has been met with skepticism. Reassurance means promise. No siphoning, he says. Diverted means rerouted. Sindh's cut stays. Skepticism means doubt. No one's buying it. There is no surplus water available from its quota that Punjab could spare for the Cholistan Canal project. Surplus means extra, no leftovers. Quota is a term meaning set share. Sindh's tapped out. How will it have the quantity needed to fill the capacity of the canals? This is a rhetorical question. How's Punjab getting water if Sindh's dry? What is most shocking is that such a sensitive issue pertaining to the Federation was never discussed and approved by the Council of Common Interests. Sensitive means touchy. Federation's unity is at stake. Pertaining to is an idiomatic expression meaning about, big deal. Council of Common Interests is a term, CCI, the Water Talk crew, never met. This sentence means, it's wild the Feds skipped CCI on this hot mess. It's also surprising that the PPP did not demand a CCI meeting earlier when the canal plan was starting to take shape, and only woke up to the disturbing issue after the opposition took to the streets. Take shape is an idiomatic expression meaning form, canal idea grew. Woke up is a phrasal verb meaning got wise, PPP lagged till protests hit. This sentence means PPP slept on CCI till folks raged. It has been several months since the protest started, but there seems to be no clear policy yet to deal with the issue that directly affects people's lives. Several means a bunch. Protests roll on. No clear policy means no plan. Still fuzzy. The Sindh government has denied the allegation of failing to raise the issue with the federal government more effectively. Denied means said no. Sindh claims they tried. Raise is a phrasal verb meaning brought up, says they pushed. Yet its lackluster approach in dealing with a highly serious issue raises questions. Lackluster means weak. Sindh's half-hearted. Raises questions is an idiomatic expression. Folks wonder why. It's not just about standing up to the federal government, but also the security leadership which is backing the GPI. Standing up to is a phrasal verb meaning fighting. Feds and Army both. Security leadership is a term meaning military brass. GPI's their baby. With its huge stakes in the present hybrid system, it's not surprising that the PPP would try to avoid any direct confrontation on the issue. Huge stakes is a figure of speech meaning big role. PPP's in deep. Hybrid system is a term meaning Army-civil mix, keeps them cozy. Confrontation means clash. PPP dodges. This sentence means PPP's tied to the Army setup, so they duck fights. PPP leaders maintain that the party will adopt constitutional and democratic methods to fight Sindhibur. Case. Maintain means stick to, PPP's line. Adopt means use, legal ways. Fight Sindh's case is an idiomatic expression, push for rights. That may be a wise thing to do, but it would require much more to deal with an issue that is threatening the federal structure. Wise means smart. Legal's cool. Federal structure is a term. Pakistan's unity's at risk. There is a need to resolve the dispute over the canal project sooner than later, as the prevailing public unrest in the province can take a more violent turn. Resolve means settle. Fix it fast. Sooner than later is an idiomatic expression. Now's best. Take a turn is a phrasal verb. Could get ugly. This sentence means, settle this quick or Sind might blow up. It's a serious crisis that could destabilize the province. Destabilize means shake up. Sind could wobble. With KP and Balochistan already in turmoil, the growing unrest in the country's second most populated province would be disastrous for the Federation. Turmoil means chaos. KP and Balochistan are messy. Disastrous means wrecking. Sind's unrest could tank Pakistan. There is a growing demand that the Canal Project, which nationalist leaders say is a life-and-death issue for Sind, be shelved. Growing demand means rising call. Stop it. Life and death is an idiomatic expression. Sind's survival. Shelved means ditched. Kill the plan. While these leaders' words sound extreme, the people's concerns about the project are not unfounded. Extreme means over the top. Big talk. Unfounded means baseless. Worries hold water. The major responsibility lies with the federal government and the establishment to heed those concerns. Heed means listen up. Feds and army gotta hear. The people of Sind are seething and their voice needs to be heard. Seething is a figure of speech meaning boiling mad. Sind's pissed. Voice needs to be heard is an idiomatic expression. Listen to 'em. There exists a comprehensive constitutional mechanism for resolving water disputes among the provinces, but it is hardly followed. Comprehensive means full on. Good setups there. Mechanism is a term. Rules to fix fights. Hardly means barely. Ignored. The Sind government accuses the federal government of failing to fully implement the Water Apportionment Accord of 1991. Accuses means blames. Sind's mad. Implement means do. 1991 water deals half done. The unilateral decision to build the canals is a violation of the Constitution. Unilateral means one-sided. Feds went solo. Violation means break. Constitution's trashed. It seems that those in power have not learned any lesson from our history. Learned any lesson is an idiomatic expression. Past flops teach nothing. The ongoing public protests on the canal issue also reflect the growing distrust between the federating unit and the Federation. Reflect means show. Protests mirror anger. Federating unit is a term. Sind versus Pakistan. It will only strengthen extremist nationalist forces. Strengthen means boost. Crazy nationalists rise. The widespread protest is just one indicator of the growing public discontent, particularly among the youth, against an elite-dominated system. Indicator means sign. Protests show rage. Discontent means upset. Youth hate the elite setup. This sentence means protests hint at youth anger at the big shots. It's also a message for the PPP, which has ruled the province for decades. Decades means tons of years. PPP's long reign. It seems that the party, which claims to champion the struggle for people's democratic rights, is now only interested in protecting its own power. Champion means fight for. PPP brags it. Protecting its own power means guarding their throne. Selfish now. This sentence means PPP looks out for itself, not rights. It seems to have lost touch with the fast-changing social and political landscape in the province. Lost touch is an idiomatic expression. Out of sync. Landscape is a figure of speech. Sind's shifting vibe. This sentence means PPP's blind to Sind's new mood. The latest wave of protests must come as a wake-up call for the party leadership. Wave is a figure of speech. Big protest surge. Wake-up call is an idiomatic expression. Snap out of it, PPP chiefs. This sentence means protests should jolt PPP awake. The writer is an author and journalist. Hussain100@yahoo.com. Mail to Hussain100@yahoo.com. In X at Zahid Hussain. Published in Dawn, February 26, 2025.